You're trying to convince me that demonstrators are expenditure for the meeting.
I don't think you heard me. That's okay. Let's do it like this. What time is it? I started.
Hello?
Hi, is this Mr. Robert?
Yes, it is.
All right, can you hear me?
Yep, y'all just put it on speakerphone.
Okay, well, you're on speaker, my phone too.
Okay, cool.
All right, so you'll have to let me know if you can't hear. I'll hold it up so that you can hear everybody, but anyway, glad you're here.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, well, we're getting the night with the internet's been off, so it's been a bit tough to go.
I know, what are you gonna do with your life with no internet?
Oh, get rid of it. I hate it.
Okay, all right, it's 7 o'clock, and I've made sure that we have a quorum now by phone, by person, people here. I call this meeting to order, and for the record, this meeting is the first page of a new chapter for the council and the town.
Okay.
Join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, council, the agenda is pretty well packed. We'll start with the approval of April 23rd, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
I move to table that till the next meeting, please.
Okay, I know, Jamie, you were probably busy and you couldn't get into the office to,
I'm only in town for 2 weeks. Grandkids.
okay, so that one's tabled. Okay, council approval of May 28th, 2024 council meeting minutes.
Okay, I make a motion to approve.
Hold on, I have an amendment or a change.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, all right, there wasn't a second, so. Under unfinished business, where we're talking about the Department of Retirement premiums, the third line down, they were not filed nor paid correctly since 2008 to current. I want you to add to current or to 2024.
Okay,
Okay, and
so
then,
since 2008 to 2024?
yeah.
Okay,
And then under other business, public comments. F, After I made the motion to have the bills available at the meetings, and it was carried, Mr. Dworshak's transcribed verbatim to the minutes. I do not think it's appropriate for the council's minutes. So
Okay,
please
he-
remove it, it doesn't matter, there are minutes and we can accept it or not.
He asked for it to be transcribed verbatim for the minute.
He gave you a letter and you can put it in the file,
Okay,
but it shouldn't be on our minutes. Nobody else that talks gets a half a page. That's all.
Okay, Robert, you made the motion to approve the May 28 minutes, and Jamie made some amendments or additions, subtractions,
Correction.
corrections. So is there a second
Sorry.
With corrections.
with the corrections? Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the May 28 minutes with the corrections. Right? All in favor, say aye.
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 And any opposed? Motion carries. Alright, council, approval of June 11th training session minutes.
I didn't get any training minutes.
It's not on the back side,
Of what?
June 11th.
And weren't you gonna give us a revised agenda for this meeting? Didn't you have some things you
It
asked?
is.
it's on the table over there at the entrance. I apologize. I printed them out and set them all on the entrance table without putting them at the council's spot. I apologize for that.
Thank you.
And that means I did not, because I don't have a Judy 11 either. So are you the only one that got a Judy 11?
Well, mine are back to back.
Great.
Yeah, I have the June 11th.
Okay, no,
Oh,
the
that.
minutes, council, no, training, training, I've got training on one side,
Okay.
and then the
No.
minutes. So do you have any minutes?
I didn't. I looked completely through it.
Okay, here is one-sided council meeting minutes, but he's got my side-by-side training. So this is what we're approving first.
I don't have to, so.
Question, Robert, do you have the training minutes in your packet?
He would.
Yes, I do, yes.
April 23rd.
He says he does.
Oh, maybe he got them all.
Maybe, do you have them all?
I'm just. Well, is that on, that's on the waiting sheet, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, it's on, okay.
Okay, so here's what we're doing for this. That's what we just got to do. So here's,
Okay.
okay, Jamie read this, that's your copy.
Okay, thank you.
With us splitting our meetings, it was hard. Okay,
I apologize.
He needs to read this too.
no, he's got it
You have.
double-sided.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, but right now, you're focused on the training session
The first one.
Move to approve.
Second.
Jim moved and Jamie seconded to approve the June 11th training session meeting minutes. All in favor, say aye.
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 And any opposed, motion carries. All right, council, now, Jim, flip yours. Right, okay. June 11th, regular meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded to approve the June 11th regular meeting minutes. All in favor, say aye.
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 And any opposed, motion carries. Okay, so thank you for that patience on that one. All right, council, unfinished business, item A, wastewater treatment plant biosolid trailer quote. Your information was given through an email message. You have already received a quote that was on a green sheet last time, or a couple of meetings ago. And then there's two more quotes, and then an additional one more quote from Trailer Boss, and then CS Equipment out of Mesa. And that came to you through email. Okay.
I have some questions about this. So I've been informed that you have to have a special license, a CDL with hazmat. Do our employees have hazmat? The ones that have a CDL?
I'm not sure. Okay. That part is a no.
Okay.
Hazmat certification, you think?
Also, well, I know we mentioned it at the last meeting, we asked if you check to make sure that our insurance would cover us properly for hauling our own solids. What did they say?
Yes,
Because if any of those get spilled on the highway, we have to pay for, ecology to come in and clean it up, so it'd be a huge cost. That's why I'm concerned.
Okay.
If there was any issue with the vehicle or the trailer or something getting out of hand. Is it possible to have the company come in and haul them out what we have right now so that he can continue to press the solids? Have them come, it's $65 a ton, and I think it's $1,100 for the truck and the driver. One truck. Do they have bigger or smaller trucks? Because I don't think we have enough solids
not right at the moment,
for a large truck.
no.
Do they have any smaller trucks?
I have not asked that question, so, but we do have to, Bartech is the authorized company that we would take it to, so I can call and ask.
Would you please, just for this time, so that we can continue to do the pressing every week, and we can do a little more research and make sure that our employees are able to do it, or that they could get the hazmat, or find out a little bit more in detail about what it would be. Because I know that there was a lot of solids hauled away. There was 4 trucks last time, and I don't think we would need more than a small truck for what's there right now. So if they had a smaller truck or some way that it wouldn't cost quite as much, I think it'd be wise just to get them hauled away and give us a little more time to
I'll call and ask.
figure out what to do.
Are you still having Gary Biddick haul it, Paula?
Denise, I would like for you to wait for the end of the meeting to ask questions. But to answer that immediate one, yes, Gary is available.
Oh.
So
So he could call.
he can, yes.
Okay, and how much did it cost last time?
$1,400
$700, right,
each load.
each load,
Oh,
each trip,
okay,
each
okay.
trip.
So he would just need to make room with what we have.
Right, he has to rent the trailer is the issue, so it's on us, whatever is available at the time that we need to rent.
Well, I would make a suggestion that we either use Gary or call them and see if they are a better price or not. I don't know if it would be because they have to drive. And they get $200 an hour, is that what I saw?
I think so.
$200 an hour for the drivers? I wanna go to work for them. But, if we could take care of it that way, giving us a little more time to make sure that once we buy the trailer, we're actually gonna be able to haul it. There was also a rumor, I'll call it, because I don't know if it's true or not, but, is there anything wrong with the newer pickup transmission-wise? I've heard that might not be able to pull a trailer, it's having transmission issues.
No.
Have you heard that?
No.
Would you look into that, please?
Yeah, nobody's.
I would like to add that I did some research through Trailer Station in Moses Lake.
Okay.
Comparable trailer that they're asking $13,000 for. It's a North Star, 7 by 14 foot, 14,000 payload for $89,000.
Okay.
And then there's a Big Tex, which is a 5 by 10, 7,000 pound for $7,000. Iron Bull is a 5 by 10, 7,000 for between 7,000 and 8,100. But they're all a few $1,000s less than what these quotes are. And I just can't see myself paying extra money that we don't need.
Okay,
They're all dump trailers.
okay, and those are used?
Okay, these are new.
Oh, those are new?
Mhm.
Okay, good. Okay, yes, please give your information to Barbara.
Okay.
And then we can go from there too. Okay.
All right.
All right. Any more discussion on that?
I'd like to ask a question, please, Paula.
Okay,
What, the old guy that used to collect it, you know, when we had the brand, what happened to them? You stopped using them or?
the ramp,
Yeah, when we used to load up the van, we had a little van, we used to load up. The truck used to come every now and again, and we'd load up. I just wondered what happened to it.
that was Bartek as well.
All right.
Bartek is the only place that we can take our biosolids to.
And there was a ramp built out of dirt so that the backhoe could get up high enough to dump into the trucks.
Yeah.
We don't know where that went, whether it got plowed over because no one knew.
Yeah,
where it was, or-
I don't know. I don't know.
But, it was built before out of soil.
It took us a day to build that van. And we started on the day before the trip back to pick up the files on it. Yeah, where it went, the got shoved around and disappeared, I guess.
Yeah, or blew away.
Away, yeah.
Okay. All right, so that is good information, and we'll dive into that in depth there later, right?
Yes.
Okay. Item B, Department of Retirement. I'm going to turn the floor over to Barbara for her explanations.
to retirement. For the record, as previously stated at the last couple of meetings, the Department of Retirement, or DOR, premiums have not been taken care of. And due to this error, the current amount owed is still at the $17,475.99, which is still, the late fees are still approximately $1,400, but the new penalties could be added this weekend of another approximately $1,400, and we still have another $26,584 plus whatever penalties and interest owing in correction reports, and there is an unknown amount that may be owed when Councilmember Jamie Schmunk's account is corrected as you opted into Department of Retirement as an elected official. I had to file a correction report for your mayor years and now as council member. And I filed that report last week and they haven't got back to me yet. So I don't know if there's anything for that. Due to no input from council members, the mayor and I have gone through the budget as it was currently on that day and have done what we think is best for the town's financial situation to reallocate funds to bring you a rewritten ordinance 2405, which will pay the $17,475.99 that is currently owing. Ordinance 2405 states, an ordinance rescinding Ordinance 2404 to reallocate the funds of the 2024 budget of the town of Lynn, Washington. This ordinance is to reallocate funds due to unforeseen expenses as a result of the Department of Retirement review. Whereas the town of Lynn underwent a review in 2024 by the Department of Retirement of all employees, included elected officials. And whereas the Department of Retirement concluded that insurance premiums were unpaid due to not being correctly reported back to the year 2008, and whereas certain changes needed to be made to the 2024 budget as listed below. $14,086 out of code enforcement wages, $1,503.64 out of code enforcement benefits, $2,600 out of clerk treasurer wages. It stays all out of the current expense fund. This equals the $18,104.50. We put $104.50 into the audit expenses, and then $18,000 into retirement insurance premiums, so it stays in current expense. And it leaves the total budget line the same at $2,393,065.45. This does not take into consideration the $26,584 plus that is also needing to be paid by the end of this year. Since a payment plan was not decided on for the $26,584, when I was on the phone with Department of Retirement, I had to give a payment plan to them on June 5th of getting that $17,745.99 paid this week, and getting approximately $2,000 paid in July and then $2,000 in August, and working on getting the rest of it paid through the fall and winter months. It just needs to be decided on how to pay approximately, give or take, $6,000 for each month of September through December. I did some further work after I had written this out. In your packet, you guys received a copy of the draft of Ordinance 2405. You received a copy of an email you should have received from Christy Evans for the DRS compliance review, which included the compliance review itself. So you should have received that in your packet. You should have received a copy of the certificate of corrections, which lists all the information of what needed to be done for the certificate of corrections. You should have received 2 spreadsheets of employees listing with the amounts that it would list employee number, the report period, which was all 2024, because it's a correction report that I did. This was copied off of Department of Corrections website. It's a correction report, Plan 3, Plan 2, depending on the employee number. The earning period tells you when the month and year of when it was supposed to have been reported, how many hours that person worked in that month. Then the member compensation is the amount the employee was paid. Then employer contributions is what the town is supposed to pay. And the member contributions is what the employee would pay. So there's two separate spreadsheets with employee numbers. So those employee numbers will match the certificate of corrections. So you can see that. And then I believe, I'm not sure if I gave you a copy of the certificate of corrections that needs to be signed next week. Tomorrow. Because it's due this weekend. And then after I had written that letter, I actually went through this report and did some totals and came up with the payments each month that we would need to make to have it paid off in full by December, the end of December. But it does not include any late fees or penalties they may apply. So our July payment would be $1475.57. Our August payment would be $1588 even. That would pay the $2,700. No, we need to pay the $1,700 tomorrow. I apologize. The $1,700 and whatever needs to be paid tomorrow, or we will incur late fees over the weekend because they apply them on the 15th. It's a automatic computerized thing. This is the 26,000. This $1475.57 would be in July. The $1588 would be in August. That's one correction report. So I split it in half, as close as I could. Then in September, $6151.77. October is $6261.79. November is $6187.69. And December, the final payment would be $4918.83. And then we would add the penalties to the December payment if there are any.
So we need to pay the 17 this month, okay. So you said July and August, but how much?
July would be $1475 and change, and August would be $1588.
You're talking 1,588.
Yes.
Okay, because at first I thought you said 14,000.
Oh no, I'm sorry, $1,475.
Okay.
Because I told them the payment plan would be $2,000 for July and $2,000 for August. Yeah. And then I was able, the correction report is $3,000 and something. The one correction report isn't a full $4,000, it's actually $3,000 and something. So dividing it down, separating it into halves, that would be separating it in halves. So that was a verbal, this is what I would like to do. They have asked me to put it in writing by tomorrow. So that is what I'm presenting to you for approval. I have told them that we had a meeting tonight, that I was bringing it to you tonight for approval, and that I would present them with the final plan in writing tomorrow.
How is the employee contribution part of this going to be handled?
The employees have been notified that they owe the town, and then they have to reimburse the town their portion. And then they have to come to the town and set up, depending on their amount, a payment plan. The 26,000 has no employee contributions at all. It's pure town. But the 17,000, I don't know the separation part of what is employee versus what is town. I'm gonna throw a number out there and say maybe 6,000 to 8,000 of the 17,000 is employee contributions.
So the town is going to pay the employee contribution, and then the employee is going to reimburse the town?
That is what, yes, the Department of Retirement has stated that the town is responsible to pay all of it up front. And then the town has to go to the employee to get reimbursed because the town was responsible in the first place to have deducted it from the employee paycheck back when the employee was paid at the time. And the town failed to withdraw it from the employee paycheck during those months of payment. It was a town error that was not done back in those dating clear back to those years. Yeah.
So I want to look at this ordinance. You're still quoting that we have code enforcement wage line and code enforcement benefits. Town council passed an ordinance.
I'm rescinding the ordinance.
Well, at the last meeting, I sat here and I crunched numbers. I had my paper, I was flipping through all my budgets. And I said, how about 3,000 out of the council training, 2,000 out of the parks, 10,000 out of the vehicle fund, and the rest could come out of administrative expense. There's a line item in there with some money in it.
And there's not enough money to make $18,000.
Yes, there is.
Not anymore, there's not.
Out of administrative expense.
You were working on
The
old
most
numbers.
current one that I had.
Right. And we took the current numbers and cannot make it work based on the current numbers. So we took what we could do. That's why I'm taking money out of my wages.
Okay, what you're doing, let's make this very clear, is you're rescinding the ordinance that you didn't want us to pass in the first place, that the office fought us about in the first place. We wanted money set aside for certain things, and now you're completely eliminating that. We came up with, we met much more than halfway on this. We said, okay, so we'll split the training in half and send it towards that. We'll split the park equipment and put it towards this. We put money in the vehicle fund. We could use that. There's another line item right next to administrative expenses that had money in it too, $10,000, I believe. And whether it's spent or not, I think that you guys could have done better to not purposely undo what you didn't want to do in the first place. Is there still a line item on our budget, since I don't have a current one, that says code enforcement wages? Did you ever transfer that money? Did you ever transfer from the previous ordinance?
No.
Why
It was
not?
never approved by the attorney. It was never signed off.
It was approved by the
Never
town
passed
council, and it would pass and would be effective 5 days later
From
from
publication.
publication.
It
So you never
never-
publicated it, you did put it in the paper.
It was never signed by the attorney, so we couldn't publish it.
Oh my gosh, Dan, how many meetings have gone by and you haven't told us that? You
We have
guys,
been trying
I'm
to.
trying to meet you halfway, but we're not playing this game anymore. When the council had made a decision on something, you fight us on every decision we make. You didn't follow the ordinance for taking care of our sewer system. You kept Henry working in the code enforcement position after we terminated it.
He was never paid for that.
I don't care, he was still driving around in the town car, he was still in the office, he was still working.
for free.
It doesn't matter. The whole part of this is that the council of five usually makes a decision on something and you're to implement it. I think we learned that in the training pretty clear. So now you still haven't done what we passed 2 months ago. And you haven't brought it back and haven't said a word, but yet you come up with this to just make everything go away. That is not okay. The council makes the decisions. And if the attorney hasn't got back to you in 2 months, sorry.
Maybe
We need a new attorney.
Okay,
But this is not what the council spoke to you about
True,
and
that is
suggested
true.
to you and agreed to.
and
It wasn't
that is
just
true.
me.
And that is true. With your original ordinance, we worked with the Department of Retirement and we kept trying to get your number that you wanted, right? The
For
original,
retirement, you're talking
for our payment that we
Yes.
owe.
the 17.
And, with the current numbers that kept coming up and adjusting because of payments and all that, then we gave another, ordinance numbers as well before this one. And then you took that, correct? And then you readjusted. And then we took
I
that.
made
Right.
suggestions and the council
Right.
agreed with it. You said you would write it up and bring it back.
And we did, and so now this is our comeback.
Your comeback completely skipped that other ordinance since you haven't transferred any of the money.
Right, and we
You
weren't
skipped it.
we didn't transfer because we were still waffling back and forth of this.
There's no waffling. It was passed 2 months ago. No waffling. It should have been taken out. There shouldn't be a code enforcement wage line, or it should be zero. That's what we voted on 2 months ago.
And-
So this is incorrect. There shouldn't be money in the code enforcement wages line. You can't take money out of it. There's no money in it, according to what the council passed 2 months ago.
Okay, so,
And what I gave you was 10,000 out of the vehicle fund, 3,000 out of training, 2,000 out of parts, and they said find the other 2,000 or 3,000 out of administrative expense or the line item right below it. I don't recall the name of it at the moment.
Miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous. So I came up with 15,000 out of a $17,000 problem. I sat here, you watched me going through the budget, trying to be diligent and find places where we could do it, changing the things that we had done, but what good does it do us to make a motion and to pass something, to present you with the actual form typed out so that you don't have to have any question as to what it was that we voted on?
We also expected you to come into the office to discuss this, which you never.
Not this part. Not this part. I made the suggestions at the meeting. You never told us that the attorney never did it, you never posted it, and it's not enforced. And there's no excuse for that.
it's not published, you are right, it is not published. So,
So 10,000 out of the vehicle fund, 3,000 out of training, 2,000 out of parks, and the rest out of miscellaneous. Or
There's not-
administrative
there's
expense.
Like maybe $100 that we can take out of miscellaneous. We can't make 18,000 out of miscellaneous fund.
with the correct numbers.
I'm only asking you to find 2,000 or 3,000.
And I don't have it.
Well, then find it.
I
Look at your
did.
budget and
I
find
did,
it.
right here.
Well, no.
My budget is right here.
How long ago did the attorney give that information?
Shortly after you guys approved it in the meeting.
And it's been 2 months?
If that's the date
And we're
you
paying
say.
him?
He's, if you read your letter that was in your packet, he is not on contract.
I understand that. But when we give him a task and he gets paid to do that,
February 27th.
maybe we need to look at a different attorney that can get the job done in a timely manner.
Okay, so with this new, ordinance 2405 that we are giving to you now, is it totally off the range for you guys to, approve of.
Yes. Because there's no money in that, and you didn't do the first one that we voted on.
Okay, so what we will have to do is take.
What I suggested at the last meeting, do the transfer like it's supposed to have been done into the other line items, and then come back with 10,000 out of vehicle, 3,000 out of the training for the council, 2,000 out of parks, and then if you want to use your wages, how much did you put in here? $2,600? That should probably cover it.
Was that the original numbers, or is that the second numbers that have come through? Because the budget that you were
I'm
working
looking
off
at
of,
this, I'm looking at this, the one, ordinance 2405. Okay, for clerk, treasurer
the one
wages,
that you did not approve, or this one that you just got.
this one I just got.
Okay.
That's what the council all agreed, there were no discrepancies on that, you were gonna bring it back that way. But I guess you gotta transfer the money where it should have been transferred.
So it will not be
First.
paid by tomorrow. So we will have another $1,400 in.
That is not my fault. That is because you don't listen when we ask things to be done.
Well,
It was really
we
clear.
were trying to work with your numbers, and
There's none of my numbers in there at all.
It's all of your
on, with the original
Yeah, no, you're
presentation. And so,
rescinding the ordinance that was passed 2 months ago.
2404.
And all that should have been taken care of. That should have all been transferred, it shouldn't even affect anything, please.
What was the true numbered budget? Because she was working off of February.
Which is, what, 4 months ago?
Yeah.
So that's why we redid it, because the numbers did not match what
Well,
our budget.
When I did it, let's see, we had transferred money into council training, we had transferred money into parks, and there was 13,000 in the vehicle fund, and we transferred into that fund too. So it was a total of 18,000 in the vehicle fund.
I don't have that with me, so I will have to look at her notes.
And the administrative expense or the one below it, the miscellaneous, can make up for it too.
It has $1,000 in it.
There's 2 lines. What's in the other one?
The administration has 2,000 and the miscellaneous has 1,000.
Out of 18,000 that was originally in there.
18,000 was not originally in those. 10,000 was originally in those. The budget for miscellaneous had originally 7,000 and administration had originally 3,000.
That was under current expense, correct?
Yes, second page.
And it is unfortunate that budgets change day to day.
I understand.
Can I speak, Paula?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm looking.
So, with this money short, we still got no revenue coming into the tax rate. We need money. There's a try that spread it down the sewer plant and sell for at least $10,000. If we got this stuff all stored up a bit. We can pull in quite a bit of money there. I know that train was expensive, and look at that. The prices of them lately, some of them are $12,000 to $15,000. I know that's the second-hand one, but that's never been used. The light tags have all gone rusty and ruined. You know, it's gonna fetch at least $8,000 to $10,000.
True.
So, you know, there's a lot of money there to be had to take off some of this stuff. That's just my way of thinking. You know, it's all there, it's all surplus.
Talking about surplus.
Point taken, yes.
Council, could I address you about something about? I think the employees, if we pay the employees' portion up front, we are in effect giving them a loan, and I don't think you can loan them town money. And secondly, if they have a payback contract, council should be approving the contract, and there should be consequences of non-payment on the contract. That's for you guys to do, not for the office to decide. As far as payments go, you guys need to know what that is, and you should be approving the contract.
That
'Cause-
step has not been done yet.
It is a contract, but I don't think you can lend the town's money to them to pay that back. And then, I don't think that's legal. Something to check into.
Did you say that that's what the state advised you to do?
Yep, that's what Department of Retirement says has to happen. The town has to pay it. It's just like the town pays Department of Retirement every month. The employee's portion and the town's portion, and it's deducted out of the employee's paycheck. So, it's the town's responsibility.
But I do think if we come up with any contracts, it should be a council,
Yeah, we just haven't,
council decision.
the employees haven't come to the town yet that I'm aware of. I don't know if they've talked to Paul, but the employees haven't come to us with a payment plan yet.
I'm trying to get this taken care of.
Do they even know how much they?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
long time ago.
The letters went out when this was first started.
Okay, that's good.
One employee has already paid back his full portion.
Cool.
Just putting that out there.
Okay, thank you for your suggestion. Yes.
Has the employees that have passed away and stuff been taken into consideration? Do we know how many of those there are, or?
Did you tell me that this was only on current employees? And current council members, obviously.
Well, what about like the back stuff that went all the way back to '08?
That was Joe Pasuti, he got
Was it
hired
this
in
one
2008.
person? I mean, because obviously they had to pay on Doug, and we know he's passed away.
Yeah, but I don't think that
They didn't flag Doug.
only people that were flagged, that are still working, that are currently working.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, so, moving on to the 26,600, whatever it was. We still need to pay that.
So what's your suggestion on that?
I didn't have a solution for that. My suggestion's been thrown out of the water for everything else, so I bring that to you on.
I was just asking if you had something.
Yeah, I don't. I just had the payment plan of when to pay and how much to pay each month. I just didn't have an idea of where to pull the money out of.
Paula, do you have any ideas? Have you looked at the budget and thought about that at all? Have any ideas?
All ideas get shot down.
I hear you.
The emergencies, the different little tasks that come up day to day really plays havoc with the budget, as you well know. So you make a plan and then it changes. You make another plan with the different numbers and then it changes. And so you can't, if you try and earmark a buck here or there, yeah. It's just really tight this year with everything that's been reviewed unexpectedly, which is unfortunate.
Now, somebody at the last meeting, I believe, suggested going to the county and seeing if there was some kind of a grant we could get, some kind of assistance for an unexpected emergency type thing like this. Were you able to?
No, I haven't.
I talked with Wes this morning. He suggested that we go through an attorney and let them use their legalese with the state. He said oftentimes they're able to word things a certain way that most of us don't know, and see if maybe they can come up with a solution to our problem. A payment plan, something. That was his suggestion.
How do we pay for the attorney?
However, we could pay for the attorney.
Good idea, good.
How about contacting MRSC or
Yeah.
somebody to help out? Because I'm sure we're
We've
not the
only
only place that's finding this really hard to come up with funds all of a sudden like that. And you said this was new, this going and auditing.
And if we do like this next year, now that we know, it will be budgeted for extra of retirement payment plans, whatever that's gonna be coming down the line. As a surprise, who knows?
Yeah.
But the new numbers that are in front of us now, that's where this came from. So that's why it got presented to you as a possible alternative reallocation, rescinding the previous and reallocating to these numbers here for the 18,000, staying all in current expense.
Is the state retirement fund in some kind of a trouble, so they needed to create this and, go back to 2008 to try to make themselves solvent? I think this is ridiculous.
Totally agree. And like I said before, we stood on our head, we tried any alley that we could have come up with. Please work with us. How fair is this? We are small, we do not have a big income coming through on every comment that we could come up with.
Somebody's cousin must have needed a job, so they created this for him.
I am out, but that was my presentation.
So if we have, today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, and if we can get people to answer the phone on
This
Friday.
isn't exactly current, but this is at the beginning of the month.
To try and,
But his position is full one. So, it's the beginning of the month, but, maybe you can look through that.
Okay.
Bills have been paid since this, So, when I was telling you, these numbers are not current, whoops, these numbers are not current. The current numbers are the 2,000 and the 1,000 and change. But, I had printed this at the beginning of the month and I've paid bills since this. It's how, so it's isn't like current today. But, that is more current than what, February. So I meant to give that to you before we started talking department retirement. I apologize.
You were saying, Paul? You were saying?
I forgot.
Oh.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but I apologize.
Oh, with the current, as most that we can work with, numbers that we can, go with. We will backtrack with your suggestion and, then maybe present different, I don't know. Can you do a dummy numbers of those to see exactly what that would look like? With what she's, the first,
And you mean an ordinance?
no,
What do you?
using what Jamie had the first time or second time?
At the last meeting when we talked about this, are you talking about
Yeah.
Talking about the
10,000 out of vehicle replacement fund?
Yeah.
And then the council training, 3,000. And 2,000 for parks equipment.
Because you adjusted, yes.
And then
Well, being halfway through the year and all trainings, being out there already, what were you thinking of training? See,
the
that's
IACC conference, possibly, the airport conference, possibly. So we can get back on the airport radar for the 95% grants. And since we're talking about looking for a new engineer, there's a lot of them at the infrastructure conference, so.
Yeah.
Those were thoughts.
Okay. So in my mind, honestly, I was trying to prioritize of just like the bare minimum for this year and then have the extra training for next year beyond that. So I think that my main,
If we can get scholarships or whatever to those, of course, try to.
you know, the main focus was to do this retirement and get it off the front burner.
It's very unfortunate that there's like $43,000 just sprung on the town this way, so.
You know, they had no tears for us. And by all rights, it's not fair for the employees.
No.
Still no tears.
So I'll go through this and you're gonna do something and call us in the morning or the afternoon. Probably afternoon.
Is that a yes?
I would like to make this first payment, but come back with something totally different than what we talked about.
Right, like I said, that was my main thing, is to get rid of this 14, or what was it, 17,000, and then start like fresh from there and move forward. But if you are wanting us to come back, then we'll do that.
What I would like is that previous ordinance 2404 be changed in the budget like it should have been, everything in its proper line items where we thought that it had already been moved to. And then you can change this ordinance sheet to reflect what the council had, talked about at the last meeting. And then with the 2,600 from the clerk treasurer's wages, that probably will get us there. And she's already offered that up. You guys think that there's that much to be able to give? I think we can make it that way. Do we need to have a special meeting to approve?
It'd have to be tomorrow morning, but I won't be able to get it done by tomorrow morning. So,
Tomorrow midday? I think I'm available all day.
get it done tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know how long it'll take me to get it done. Because I'll have to get on the phone with Vitus to get
To get it changed.
yeah.
As long as the internet's working.
Yeah, and I was told the internet wouldn't be up until, what'd you say, Richard? When would the internet be working again tomorrow?
It's working now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Internet's working
Thank you,
now.
Robert.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Okay, so I would be able to do it first thing in the morning.
Are you in town? Are you in town? Are you in town, Robert, tomorrow?
Yeah, well, I'm out at 2 o'clock. I got to go to the class for one of them scans.
Okay, too much detail.
So I need to have it done by 1 o'clock. Okay.
Okay,
So we're gonna have a special meeting tomorrow at town hall?
well,
I'll call you by noon.
Well, we have
Well,
to
I
post
guess-
it.
it's got 24 hours.
Oh, crap, we don't have 24 hours, so we can't. Because we're
And the deadline is on the weekend, is the
deadline
problem.
is Sunday.
Yep.
Do I have permission to pay it and figure out what to take it out of after the fact? If I pay it, I can put it in bias on Monday. But I pay
If you
it
pay it
electronically, it comes
out
out
of
of the
those
checking
funds.
accounts.
Oh, it
Well,
comes out
see,
of it? Okay.
What I do is I go into the Department of Retirement site
Okay.
and I pay it by EFT. It's withdrawn from the checking account. Then I hold off on putting it in the computer system and taking it out of the specific funds till Monday. So we would have a special meeting Monday to decide to pass the ordinance to approve the funds that it comes out of. Does that make sense?
Let's hear from another clerk treasurer.
Well, I'm sorry, if you guys go ahead and pay that money for those employees, you guys don't even have permission to do that, and then they're gonna owe you?
That's the
mean-
way Department of Retirement says we have to do it.
Well,
Because it's the town's responsibility.
yeah,
to
but
take
they're
that.
not, they don't know what the RCW is for borrowing our money. I get what they're saying, but they don't know the legalities of us loaning money to the employees, and I think you guys, like I said, you haven't talked to the employees at all, and you're gonna get them on the line for a $6,000 bill? I mean, without their permission? You guys don't have their permission to pay that bill for them or anything
We
yet.
don't have any choice.
Well, I know, but you are lining them up for a bill, and I just think you guys better have all those ducks in a row before you go paying it.
Can we pay
We have to pay it.
everything except what the employees owe?
Then we're,
Or is it just be a lump sum?
it's got to be a lump sum. It has to be
There'll just
all
be
or nothing.
fees on them.
Yeah,
Partly
it has to
paid.
be all or
Yeah.
nothing, because the report's already been filed. So according to Department of Retirement, we've already withheld the money. They believe we've withheld the money because the report was filed.
Well, if you have a special meeting, why don't you have the employees come in and make some agreement with council at the same time? So they're aware of what's being charged,
The
and,
employees are aware.
well, they need to talk to them about getting this bill. I mean,
Setting up a payment.
I just don't think you guys are following all the, yeah.
That would be an executive session, I think, because it would be
With the
employee, yeah.
I just really think you should straighten
It's a
that
rock
out
and a hard
first.
spot, no matter which way you look.
I don't get it. That's what we get paid big bucks.
And it's not that we are denying one idea over another idea, it's just we're trying to work and figure and,
So is it a monthly fee for
Yes,
30 days?
yeah, it's applied the 15th of every month. They say between the 15th and the 17th. Last month it was the 15th on the dot.
Can you call and find out?
It's computerized, so I can call and ask, but they probably don't know because it's all electronically done.
And maybe MRSC could answer, or you could draw up an ordinance that this one time, because of this error, you're going to do this, even though it's against, it's an unusual situation. You might have to draw up something that states all that stuff. But you guys better make sure that your rear ends are covered loaning out town money. That's all I'm saying.
Do you have documentation that's set from them that says that the employee is required to pay us that? Is there any kind of documentation?
From DOR?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know. I would have to go through my emails to see what is stated in the emails, but
One
not
way or
with
another,
tonight.
one way or another, the town has to pay it,
The town
and
has.
then the town has to recoup. So we can't call a special meeting for tomorrow because it's too late. Can you make a payment on a Saturday?
I don't know. I'm
It's
not
an
available
EFT.
Saturday. I have prior plans on Saturday. Well, I could come in the morning and do it.
Well, a council member can act as a clerk, as the minutes taker.
excuse me, Denise.
Yeah, but we're talking actually physically doing it on the computer, making the payment on the EFT.
I could do it in the morning, but I'm out of town in the afternoon. But I could do it in the morning. I didn't think about it. The certificate of corrections has to be signed tomorrow.
So,
Yeah.
Did you get a copy of the certificate of corrections?
Yeah.
That has to be faxed tomorrow, stating that, and the payment plan has to be approved for approval for tomorrow. The certificate of correction says, for everybody, as an employer participating in retirement systems administered by DRS, it is important to understand and adhere to the laws and rules governing the various plans in which employees may have membership. Customer benefits are dependent upon the correct reporting of compensation and hours. As an employer, DRS relies on your reporting to pay correct benefits. The reporting is gross wages and hours worked. You have 60 days from the date of the compliance report, which was April 16th, to make the attached corrections provide the names of additional corrected individuals, and to certify that the corrections are completed. Please return this certification to, and it gives an email address. Our Employer Support Services, or ESS team, is available to provide assistance in implementing the corrective action or to provide additional information or clarification on agency laws and rules. Alternatively, you may wish to consult our employer handbook available on the DRS website. What we sign, we understand the importance of correct reporting to DRS and the impact that reporting can have on our employees. We have taken the necessary steps to correct our retirement reporting based on the recent review of our records by DRS. We certify that we have made the corrections listed on the following pages. We have addressed the corrections identified by DRS and have provided the names of other employees, retirees, that we have identified were also in need of corrections. Corrections must be made within 60 days of the compliance report. And signature of employer representative and printed name, date, and title. And then the certificate of corrections, due to, I had to redact employee name and ID numbers for confidential information. But then I had to report correction information for start dates and compensation for employees 1, 2, 3, because they were not reported for 3 employees. There were 3 elected officials for retirees that returned back to work as an elected official. There were 3 employees that compensation and hours were not reported correctly for different months that they worked. 2 employees' separation dates were not correctly recorded. And then they have reports called RFEIs, which were not resolved. There were 3 of those. And then that is the spreadsheets that would correspond with the employee numbers on these reports. So,
So you have done all the reports and finished all the reports for this?
except the 2 correction reports that I have, that they've been presented, they've been done, they just haven't been filed yet. That is the payment plan that I have the opportunity to present to them for the payments of July through December.
For the 2?
For the 2, yeah. So otherwise, everything else on this has been done, yes. I worked with a person with DRS to get through this spreadsheet at least 2 days to accomplish this.
So I don't see any reason that we can't sign that you've done these corrections.
Right. And I will do that, and I will attach the payment plan, the payment plan of when we can make the payments and how much. And then those months, I will have to submit correction reports to equal those amounts, which means those months, the correction reports will be filed for those amounts, and then we'll have to pay. If they accept it,
Yeah.
that's the point. If they accept the correction report or the payment plan as I present it to them, then those months, we have until those months to figure out how to pay it. So we have time. July we would have 1,400 or whatever I stated.
Yeah.
And then August we would have 1,500, and then September we would have 6,000, and so on. I can change July and August and increase those amounts and lower September, October, November, December. That's the point. I don't know. So that's kind of why I have July and August low. So that we have time to try and figure out where we're gonna get the money. But that's the whole problem, and I don't know, they're kind of saying it needs to be paid by the end of the year. So I present this to them with the question, is it possible to extend this into next year? And if they say that, yes it is, I will ask them to tell them, can I cut in half September, October, November, December, and lower those payments and extend it to next year? And then I will present that to you and let you know that they said, yes, we can lower these payments and pay into next year. That I won't know that until I present it to them.
So since we're talking about the certification of corrections, I make a motion, either, who signs it, you or Paula?
I was gonna ask Paula as mayor.
Okay. That the mayor sign the certificate of corrections since they are done. And we need to get it in a timely manner.
My only question is, what's the downside? I mean, if you go ahead and do all this tonight, what is the downside
Of signing the certification.
of approving the payment? All we're gonna do tonight is just do the certificate of corrections.
That's
Is that it? Okay, I said that.
It's been moved and seconded to go ahead and sign or approve this certification of corrections and have it signed and dated and sent. Right, okay, all in favor say aye. And any opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
With that part.
I will let you know tomorrow what I figure out for payments and department retirement. I tried communicating with them today and the internet went down in the middle of communicating with them. So the internet is back up and working, then I can communicate with them again some more tomorrow. And communicate with you tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, we can, yes, we will move on.
Okay. All right, council, the agenda says C, well 7 sign wave filter installation bid award, and it is blue. And as you can see, bidder 1 is B&E Electric, $9,948.03. Bidder 2 is Ice Electric, $22,185.36. And bidder 3 did not provide a bid. So need to have a motion to award to B&E Electric Incorporated for the $9,948.03.
Wow, what a difference between bids.
Yeah, $10,000 difference.
Huge.
They're more efficient.
What, for $9,948?
That's the bid that we received, so,
How are we paying this $9,948?
well 7, oh, that's part of the, what is it? Loan, well 7, it's well 7 something or other.
So we have existing funding
Yeah.
for this, it's not outside of what we have.
Right.
Thank you. Has it come in yet? Do you know if it's come in yet?
I have not received any delivery of anything, have you? No.
Okay. So we award the bid to the the low bidder, as usual. And then we just make a motion to accept the bid. Correct? Do you have any other questions? You have any questions? Okay, I'll make a motion to accept the bid from B&E Electric for $9,948.03.
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded to award the Well 7 sine wave filter installation to B&E Electric, $9,948.03. All in favor, say aye.
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 And any opposed, motion carries. Okay. All right, thank you. Council, item D is TIB 2024 scrub seal consultant agreement, and I believe it's purple.
Okay, is this something that a previous council had started?
Yes,
And what's the funding for it?
it's 100% grant,
Like that? For who?
TIB.
Okay, that makes sense. Sorry. What exactly is scrub seal?
It's a new process, like a couple of years old. It was explained as I was at a TIB workshop that they scrub the existing pavement and then they do their sealing right after it, so there's no chance for it to deteriorate or anything. So they had a lot of technical terms for it, but essentially they're brushing it, scrubbing it, and then they'll seal it up immediately after. And if you will see on the first page, it says that the project will apply a scrub seal pavement preservation. And TIB really wants you to realize that it's preservation. It's not new pavement. It's a preservation of the existing technique to certain segments, South 1st Street, 2nd Street, 3rd Street, 4th Street. They totaled out the linear feet of 4,445.
This is on the other side of the code, right? South.
South 1st, yes.
Yeah.
But then there's some on 2nd Street, some on 3rd Street, some on 4th Street.
All on the south side, correct?
No, not
Oh, okay, so this section.
It's kind of all over, hit and miss.
And it's 100% grant?
Yep.
And we're signing this so that Century West can be the consultant for the project.
Agreement, yes. I was looking for. I believe if you want more detail, page 7. It says Exhibit B1, scope of work. I think that gives you a little bit more detail of what's the actual locations. But answer to your comment or question is, yes, it's to get the ball rolling so that we can get it in motion and do.
Is that all of that particular grant? Is the streets that are listed in here, or is there more work to be done later?
It's just these. It's
Okay.
just it's kind of like the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
And they okayed it, so they gave us the lump sum.
And that's all the grant for it?
Yes, 100% grant. It's your purple papers.
Yes, I have that. I see that's like, we seal concrete. We said concrete.
assume that it's just like, nail polish on top of your nails, clear coat, if that's what you want to say. They scrub the pavement, get it clean, and then they put down the sealant to preserve the existing pavement.
And didn't it say something, I read it earlier, didn't it say something about any areas that are bigger that need work, they'll do that first and then do the sealing?
Yes. So is there an approval?
Motion to sign the consulting agreement?
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve the consultant agreement for the TIB grant-funded scrub seal project. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so we'll get that to Century West.
So, if you don't mind me asking, how much is the grant for? What's the total project?
See the first page?
They're gonna do all that work for $10,000?
That's the lump sum. It's all been documented, driven through. Mr. TIB came through and analyzed and all that, so.
It's just hard to imagine you can get anything done for
I'm just gonna take it, and we'll all complain because it wasn't what we had pictured in our minds.
Thought maybe there was more.
Okay, next, Council E, we're on E. And it's a request for statement of qualifications, and it's your yellow. And it's a draft, it's a dummy. It's for your perusing and, okay, edit, whatever you want to do with this. The last contract, if that's what you want to say, with Century West was, last written one was 2018. And it was a continuation into 2020. Since it was the same engineering firm, there was no new contract drawn up. So that's the 2018 is the first written. And so then 21 to 22, sorry, back up, 2021 to 2026 was the next group of years. And they, Century West, Steve Nelson said that most of the engineering groups are wanting to go further or longer, I should say, in their contracting agreements with towns, because then they develop the relationship and all that. And if I asked, okay, so what if I'm not happy with you? Can I? And he says, yes, it's just a process of eliminating the actual contract with whatever unhappiness that you have. So if you are wanting to use the yellow as a draft, Mr. Nelson gave me the example there, and I don't know, it's at the tail end of the first paragraph. It says, and 0.09 projects, that's just something that he threw in there in case that there was another agency that was, we were wanting to work with. So you got WSDOT, TIB, CDBG, USDA, RD, EDA, DOE, and PWTF, and then that 09 project, so that would be extra. 1 year you had FEMA stuck in there, so it just kind of depends on what what your requirements that you are wanting in your engineering services. The dates, like I said, they are wanting to, originally it was every 2 years. Well, that's a lot of money for engineering firms to just constantly fork out for interviews and all that, presentations. You can see where they have to do, it was asked for the proposals be limited to 12 double-sided pages, and most of the time they are glossy, very nice, put together presentations, packages. If you want a lesser year, then you'd have to tell me so that we could put that in the, and I just put in 2024, when really it should be 26, so. If you want to start this year, 24 to 29, if you want to not do 5 years, but do 3 years, it's.
But at any time, if we wish to end the contract, we can.
Say again.
Anytime we wish to end the contract, we can.
Well, that's what Mr. Nelson led me to believe.
Okay.
I have not confirmed that with Matt, I think is his name, Vice President.
I didn't notice it in here. Can we put something in there about the ability to people to write grants?
It's right there in the
And
last
Where is it?
the first paragraph,
Last,
2 words.
Oh, okay.
can we,
I missed it.
in the second paragraph, it says that the firms will be selected for an interview based on the following criteria categories. Qualification of key personnel, could we put grant writer in parentheses, please? Grant writer on staff, something to that effect.
Okay. In that spot, grant writers.
Yeah.
Actually put it in writing. Okay, so here's what Century West does. They write our grants or do grant writing for free for us.
Yeah.
And in hopes that we get the project or get the award, and then that's where they get their money out of the actual project. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in comparison, if you want a separate person writing grants, then that's where you're gonna have fees, you're gonna have every hour accounted for, all that stuff. And a little side note, Mr. Jason Sanger is helping me work with people that he knows in his line of work with grant writing and things like that, so.
Cool.
But we haven't connected lately. So is that the only changes that you would immediately see? Do you want to entertain 5 years worth? Do you want to change it to a 3-year?
Well, because when you apply during their funding cycles, it takes a whole year
Yes.
until you might be approved or you might be able to set something out for bid. So everything that they do will be going on for a year or two after they start it. So I think 5 years is
Yeah,
fair.
I agree.
Okay, so that's okay.
But this will be 25 to 30 then, instead of 24 to 29.
Well,
We can adjust it to whatever you want.
But it'll start at 2025.
it could start this year if I wanted to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
See, right now it's 21 to 26.
Okay.
So if we want to kind of overlap and say on this qualifications that we want to say 24 to 29, whatever you want, 25 to 30, 24 to 29, okay. Like I said, this is a dummy.
Is there a minimum or amount of time that you post it for? I forget.
Yeah, there's 2 weeks. there's guidelines. And I don't know if I have that with me. There's a little Bible that you gotta go with.
Is there a certain percentage that they usually ask when they write grants?
No, they
Not
usually-
these guys.
They get awarded the project, so they're the engineers for the project.
Okay.
That's how they,
I
that's
was
what she's
thinking-
saying, that's how they make their money.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of the grant writer.
It's all within, and all I have experience with is Century West. And I'm pretty sure that TD engineering is the same.
USKH that we had before,
Yeah.
they got a grant writer.
Okay.
And a lot of the engineers do. So, but they have a special one.
A certain set percentage or?
They pay,
Oh,
they get paid through their firm.
You, sorry, may I speak?
So if you,
USKH changed it to $1,600 and charged us every time.
They changed it.
Yeah, it wasn't free anymore, so a lot of them charge now, so it just depends.
Thank you.
Okay, so if you, those are the only changes, what do you want the next step to be?
Post it. I know there's a certain, like, website that we post on.
That's the minority and women, yes. We have to do something special with minority and women, and then there's you're right, it's,
Yeah, I wasn't talking about that, but
like I said, there's
Joe.
steps.
Joe will know the name of it. It's a certain site that you post when you're looking
Yeah, and I'm
for
sorry, I don't have it.
qualifications.
But what I'm asking for, is there anything else that you want to include in that second paragraph?
I think that covers it pretty good.
Okay. So that's a goal. Okay. I will, present this again to you, kind of in final format for approval. Okay, so takes care of that. Now, new business, Adams County Visitors Guide. Council, you have the last year's, the obvious changes will be made. Adams County Visitors Guide, full page is $750,
It hasn't gone up too much over the years.
$50.
Full page glossy.
If you want to do a half page, then it goes down to, if you want to do a full color half page, then it's $250. But what you are looking at is what you have,
Right now.
previously.
Can they change any of the pictures to something more colorful?
You got the pictures? Because these are pretty much set.
So we just got the same thing over again?
Yeah.
Because I know that we've had different pictures before. We've got
Right.
pictures of cars.
Someone just keeps that.
Right.
Of school.
But just like, seems like everything this year or last year and this year, it's always, deadline is tomorrow.
When is the deadline?
Yeah,
Technically, the deadline was yesterday.
Yeah.
He gave us till tomorrow because we didn't have council meeting on Tuesday.
It just isn't very exciting to look at. It's pretty dull. And, there's a little bit of grammar that's not correct in his writing. and room for growth and business expansion. Just room for growth. Rural lifestyle, comma, yeah, room for growth and. Can he change some of the verbiage? Just,
I can ask him to, which verbiage do you want changed?
where it says, including Lynn Lyons Combine Demolition Derby.
Including Lincoln Lions.
Yeah, you're just read along with me. It's Demolition Derby and the Chambers lighted Christmas parade.
I don't think they have the space, which is why it's worded the way it is. Because he's,
And how long ago did they come to us with this?
What we
Just
could
last
do,
week?
what we could do, if you wanted chamber, whatever you said, we could make the print smaller in that space, or we could make the picture underneath it smaller. Ask for that to be done.
Does he have any other pictures on file of combines?
technically this, because the deadline was yesterday,
Yeah.
this is what they have set to print tomorrow.
Okay.
It's really ugly.
We could ask for changes. The problem is, I'm not
Sure. if I
I'm not
can do
sure
it.
if he'd be able to do them.
Did you make the changes down at the bottom?
I do have, because he gave me an updated copy, end of day yesterday, with the new council members' names.
They're spelled correctly?
Yes, I have confirmed, double checked, and triple checked. If you would like to look,
No, I thought, oh, is that it right there?
this is it. This has the correct council members' names.
I thought we had one more day.
No, it's due tomorrow, because technically, they were gonna print yesterday,
We
and he
would've.
said,
What's that?
we talked about that, and he said, it'd be better if we left it so we had the full 5, because we don't have a replacement yet.
It would show that you'd have like
4.
4. You need 5.
Well, it was a debatable thing, so we thought it was better to leave my hold on there at this time. I can ask
Well,
him to
yours
remove
looks
it.
better than mine, and the font is different.
Oh.
It's smaller.
It could be the way
It is.
the copy.
Okay.
We could remove my fold if you prefer. I can ask him to take my fold off. That is an option. He just thought with the spacing and stuff that it would be better to have my fold on there.
Thanks.
If you would like to keep that one, I'm fine with that.
Okay, so do you want it?
I think it's important to have it there. So I make a motion to do the full page. Look open to me.
Okay. It's moved and seconded to, how do you say that? The Adams County Visitor's Guide to be printed full page glossy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries.
And would you please let him know that we would like different pictures next year?
Next year?
Okay.
And if we need to submit them, to contact us like a couple months in advance instead of a week.
Why?
Yes, I will do that. He will call me tomorrow morning and I will tell him
Yeah.
to be prepared for new pictures next year.
Okay, so thank you, council. Mayor's report, June 11th, but postponed to June 13th. Another Lions Club Combine Demolition Derby is in the history books of Lynn. Thanks to everyone who worked hard to make it a success. And that was aimed towards the town crew, the chamber people that were trying to organize the centennial vendors. There's the sad news, the only casualty that has been reported is we did lose 4 flags of our street displays. I asked if it was just, blown out of the holders, and 2 were. So those are okay, but there's still 4 that we're missing. And just an added note, we've got pricing for each flag currently, and each pole combination is approximately $60. And the reason why that the flags have stayed up is to honor Flag Day, which is tomorrow, and they will be coming down on Monday. So that's why the derby and then the week and all that. Okay, the town, and this is kind of a request from the fire department. The town follows, which we always do, follows the county-wide burn ban, which is now in effect from June 1st until September 30th of each year. Recreational campfires are allowed in approved devices at public campgrounds when permitted by the campground authority. Private fire pits are allowed at residents as long as there is 25 feet of non-combustible space surrounding the fire. How about gas? Gas and charcoal barbecues are still allowed. And it was asked to say, when in doubt, contacting the Adams County Fire Marshal's Office and/or Adams County Sheriff's Office is an option to see what's allowed or what's not. And a change, I don't know if everybody knows this, but the Lynn Fire Department Fire Chief is now Eric Lavis. So that was a request from Eric to say and make sure that people understand that the town follows what the Adams County guidelines are for the burn ban. Added note, town office will be closed June 19th, national holiday. And in order to accommodate the interview process for council position number 2, the June 25th meeting will begin at 6 p.m.
June 25th?
June 25th, 6 p.m. Notices will go out, be posted, all that. Okay, so thank you on that part. Return to the agenda for Finance Committee report. And council, you all have the warrant check register. There's 2 of them.
Did we write a check to the Heiss,
Heiss
Electric,
Electric.
and then the insurance company reimbursed us? Is that how that worked, or did it get paid directly through the insurance company?
We wrote a check
Okay,
and we were reimbursed.
okay.
That's why it's on your check register.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, if it was.
Yeah, we had to
city
pay it.
insurance, okay.
We had to pay it.
Any other questions? Okay. I move to approve the payment of warrants dated from 5/1/24 to 5/31/24 in the amount of $17.54.
Second.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the wrong one.
That's the 2 EFTs, Jamie.
Oh, the short one. Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded to approve the warrant register dated 5/1 to 5/31 of 2024 in the dollar amount $17.54. All in favor, say aye. And any opposed, motion carries.
I move to approve payment of warrants dated from 5/28/24 to 6/10/24 in the amount of $73,910.79.
Second that.
It's moved and seconded to approve the warrant register dating 5/28 to 6/10 of 2024 in the dollar amount $73,910.79. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries.
Now, I have a question here on the pending invoices. I thought we were not going to do that anymore. Did we decide?
No.
We didn't decide to do that? Oh. Because there was an incident that came up that said, well, you voted on it pending, so we're gonna pay it. So, that was. Okay. I move to approve the pending invoices dated 4/26/24 through 6/6/24 in the amount of $21,776.91.
Second that.
Okay, thank you. It's moved and seconded to approve the pending invoices dating 4/26 to 6/6 of 2024 in the dollar amount of $21,776.91. All in favor, say aye. And any opposed? Motion carries.
Jim, could you sign those two?
Yeah, hand that to her. It's just got Gary DeMoss on.
Okay,
from
so
last-
nobody, he's not here. Thank you. No one signed.
That's through, well, I don't know. I didn't get Robert's signature.
Can I come in to sign that tomorrow? Or-
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay, Jim, do you have anything for the good of the order?
Nothing that I can think of.
Okay. Jamie, do you?
Voice one come out. Let's hear from the public and if I have something after that.
There is nothing.
Oh.
So
I
you're
thought she
done.
said somebody had signed it.
Gary had signed it, but he's not here. He signed it last meeting.
Okay, nothing?
Just,
No,
just,
nothing?
just.
It's nice.
Oh, I was gonna ask about, the sewer. How are they getting with cleaning the sewer system?
Inch by inch.
Well, I've seen them a lot at one area on Highway 21.
That is, the collecting point of all of the, gravel, sanding, from winter, from the highways, that, there's that one, manhole there by Helena, I think, that floods or over.
So it's actually the
It gets
sewer
full.
system, not the rainwater runoff.
Well, the rainwater goes into that manhole that's there.
Okay, there's also something, there's a little culvert
Right.
that runs under the road that's,
I don't know if they're under that culvert or not.
okay, because I've seen them like 3
Yeah.
different days.
Right.
Sorry, allergies. Do you have any idea what percentage of lines they've cleaned so far?
No, I do not. They're on 3rd Street, 4th Street, they've done some 5th Street.
Has anybody in the, in the public, the residents, had to call you guys if they've had a problem?
We've got no phone calls at all.
Okay, because I saw something on one of the websites that someone was looking for a plumber, then somebody responded back, well, I had so-and-so out last week, and the town's been flushing lines. And I was like,
Well,
what
when
does
the
that
town,
mean, and was
the
there an
town
issue?
flushes lines has nothing to do with my private line. So if there was a clog in my private line, well, then that's where maybe that comment
Well, yeah,
came
but-
from.
There's a lot of clogs that happen close to an intersection or whatever,
Yeah.
that are
No,
actually
it's-
our line backed up a little bit, and then
Right.
it causes a backup for the person.
No,
So I just wondered if
nothing,
you'd heard.
nothing has come
Right.
through.
That's the only thing I wanted to ask.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Robert, do you have anything? Your last,
No, thank you, I'm fine.
okay. Then if you're done, do you want to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, Jim seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for accommodating. Thanks, Robert. See you tomorrow.